Government officials insist that this...
That BNC Live has been following from the beginning. A father continues his mission to find out what happened to his son.
Daniel Robinson vanished in the Buckeye Desert.
Daniel Robinson went missing in the Buckeye Desert.
Urgent plea from a father who has scoured the vast Arizona desert himself.
4-year-old Daniel Robinson, and this is a very, very odd mystery.
Daniel Robinson disappeared on June 23rd in the far West Valley.
His parents, David and Melissa, need our help.
I'm David Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Cornelia Robinson.
His name, Daniel Robinson. And leading the search, not law enforcement, but Daniel's father, David.
God knows how much we can bear, you know? And at times I feel like I can't really take but so much more.
Where is Daniel Robinson?
And identify, they were human leg bones.
But you know what, it's still urgent to me as a father because, we found human remains out here.
David Robinson had only one thought on his mind as he drove the nearly 1,800 miles from his South Carolina home to Phoenix.
I had to find my son. I also want to thank the volunteers that come out here every weekend, volunteering their time. And, without these special people behind me, I wouldn't have a search.
How does a young man vanish off the face of the earth? How does that happen? No record, no sightings, nothing. He's just gone. And when I say a young man, I'm talking about 25-year-old Daniel Robinson. He is the apple of his parents' eye. A young geologist, music lover, good looking, great grades, the works. So why can't we find Daniel? I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. And his dad, David Robinson, is using the GoFundMe money to fund his own investigation and the desperate search for his boy, his son, Daniel Robinson, 25 years old. What happened to him? How did he just disappear? David Robinson, sir, thank you so much for being with us. Tell me when you first realized your son just hadn't called in a couple of days, that he was truly missing.
Yes, my son, on the 23rd, I did get a call from my daughter. She also lives out in Phoenix. And at times I feel like I can't really take but so much more.
But in his weakest times, David says it's the volunteers that provide him strength.
Everybody know that I call them my extended family. And so this video is the same thing. We all here have one common goal, and that's to find Daniel and also to bring light what happened to other families.
As the Robinsons' extended family light candles tonight, their collective light shines towards that day when their question is answered and Daniel comes home. Josh Sanders, 12 News.
Good evening, everybody. This is David Robinson. I just wanted to come forward to talk to you guys about the upcoming search coming on the 25th of this month. I'm at 174 people that signed on for the search. I'm really grateful I had the numbers corrected today. I thought I was 187, but it's 170. So really happy you guys signed up on the Please Help Find Daniel.com website and to help me get pretty much a good head count of how many people will be showing out to the searches on that day. I had to have some agreements, of course, you guys know, with the landowners of how many people may be out on their land and property, because what we're doing is we're crossing over their property to get into the area that needs to be searched. So they're putting a community out there. So they've been working on that part, and I wanted to make sure that I had those permissions to get to the location. Of course, you guys know that this is the only search they are providing for me at the moment. And that's because they're, like I said, building this community. They want me out of there. Though, saying those areas that I'm very grateful where they're actually tearing the ground up. We've been over those areas a couple times already. When I heard they was actually about to break ground, I had a search where we went over those areas one more time to make sure that, God forbid, Daniel wasn't there or anybody else. So I feel a little more confident about those particular areas. But there is definitely areas still that need to be covered. You guys can go to the sector map on pleasehelpfinddaniel.com. And you can see some of those areas that I'm looking forward to, having searched, because it's very important. Very important. That'll be going close to completing my efforts out there in the desert. Is based on reasonable things like common sense. First of all, things that deals with how far can a person go walking out in that desert, 118-degree weather, each direction. Is also based on not just the science, but also based on everything we know from tips from leads. Of the lead was the guy that last seen my son said that he went out west. So that was based on that, as well as the 11 additional miles that's put on the vehicle after it was dumped to that location. And so, just things like that, just common sense things. Of course, the search that I had for those 40-some weeks, for over 45 weeks, wasn't to search the whole Sonoran Desert. It just, like I said, to search those reasonable areas, and there's still areas to go. You guys, like I said before, the desert is very intimidating. At times I go out there like, oh man, I'm just really surprised that we haven't gotten everything. Even after 35,000 acres of lands, you got is still incredible to know that there's still a small pocket of areas that still need to be searched. So this search is very important. Those two small pockets that I can't get, I had to really choose which one I think was more reasonable to the investigation, the one that's closer to where the vehicle was dumped, the crime scene of the vehicle, and was closer to that area I wanted to search. So some of those other areas closer to the well site, I pretty much hoping if I have these numbers that come out of the 174 plus if I get the 200 mark, I think I will be able to split teams up as much as possible to be able to go into some of these other areas. Just go ahead and complete this, what I have on the map, on the sector map. So just want to be able to do that. So that's one of the biggest things for me, is to be able to get out there and make sure those areas are actually searched. And so, like I said, just having the numbers will make a bit difference. So I definitely want to do this as well. I'm going to share a screen with you guys on the Please Help Find Daniel.com website. You guys are familiar with that as well. Those who I'm sure have been logging on. Let me get myself out of the screen right now. But have been logging on to the website. I went up there looking at some things, but what I wanted to point out is that, if you guys want to sign up for the search, like I said, it's very important that you guys do so, so I can get that head count. You can come to Please Help Find Daniel. This is the website. You can also go to to events to be able to sign up for the search, or you can even just go to the volunteer the search page before you even click any of these buttons. Also is on the main screen, because if you scroll down, you have the information about the search there. You have the letter to law enforcement inviting them, the same letter that I sent out to them in email, as well as hard copy. And also I did a follow up to check with these agencies to see if they're coming out on the 25th. Also, you can come down here a little farther down. You see the map here. If you guys, no matter where you're at, you decide to want to come out to search and you need directions, you coming into town or you're already in Arizona and you want to know how to get to Sun Valley Parkway, West Cactus Road. This is the map here. All you do is click here on this button here that says direction that pulls up there, and you can get the directions to the search. So be prepared to be prepared to learn how to search and how to help in the upcoming search, you guys. This button right here will take you to both. Do both. You click here, of course, it'll take you to the Volatile the search page. Whenever it comes up, you have the page here that will have all the information there about the search. Volatile the search. Sign up for February 25th, 2023. Click this button right here. This will take you to the event Bright where you sign up. The other buttons as well on the front page, the event button will take you to Eventbrite as well. That's where you would sign up. One thing I wanted to point out real quick too is this is the prepare the searches. This is my safety brief in the first video. I guess you guys, if you can, please take the time out to look at this video and watch it. You know, it's really some good information when it comes to what I do at the beginning of each search. I have a safety briefing, and then after safety briefing, I usually give my spiel. Saying welcoming everybody out to the search, especially the new volunteers who haven't been out before, and things like that. Also, for those who want to help out last, I do have a young lady who's been part of the desert team. She's been working really hard out there. You probably guys remember she had her dog XC out there as well, and she would be helping with line searches as well as I wanted to be able to get more people who are able to say, hey, I want to help in this line search where you also be a line commander because we need to have one person in the middle, one person on both ends, and work the line searches that way. But this website here will tell you how to go about the line searches. So you can check that out as well when you come on the page, how to conduct those line searches. That really will give you a good idea of what we'll be doing on the 25th. Also, there will be people out there on the ground who have ATV, UTVs, side by sides, 4x4 vehicles like Jeeps and things. They were doing some other things out there, going out in areas where that need to be looked into, like we'll be going back towards the canals again, as well as some other areas, the areas where I still kind of want to be able to get some line searches, but depending on the numbers we have, I doubt we have those numbers to do those line searches in some of those areas because they're very hilly areas. But it gives opportunity for some of the people who have those type vehicles to get in those areas and kind of skim over those areas and see if they see anything, locate anything. So that help as well. Also, you guys, I've been talking about safety as well from the safety briefing. This is kind of backing up what we'll be talking about on the video above about the safety tips for desert hiking. And this is a good video. The young lady who did this video here have all the information there, even though we're not hiking, but we're actually doing line searches. But it's still the same scenario when it comes to dealing with the desert. Just don't underestimate the desert. Make sure you come prepared for those who are probably doing this for the first time. I had a brother from the church that I grew up with. He came out from South Carolina. That's his first time coming out there and did very well. Say come prepared. Like I said, I don't think I can tell you guys come prepared. It's not too difficult, not too hard. But some of these tips here will help you when you come out there, so you won't be, left out of knowing. So again, go back to the home page again. We come on to the website. Please help find Daniel website at the top again. Like I said, you have the event button here, or you can go here like a volunteer to search. You go to volunteer to search button. Of course, it's gonna take you where we just was at. But if you go to the events tab here, it'll take you to Eventbrite. So you go to Eventbrite. Either way you go, it'll take you to the Eventbrite side of things. On Eventbrite, that's where you sign up. Sign up for the search here. You come down off the Eventbrite, and you see the events here. All the events will be lined up here. We just took all the other events, the old past events. You go here, you see some of the past events. These are the past events. We had the Day of Remembrance, you guys remember, as well as the candlelit visual for Daniel. But the upcoming search is what you're looking for. Upcoming event is what you're looking for, and that's the search for Daniel. You click on that, and then it'll take you to a page where you can actually sign up you know, how many people you bring in. If you're breaking, you know, hopefully you bring at least about 10 people. I think that's the number. Number goes up to. You bring at least 10 people with you. That'd be great. No, so, but if it's only you yourself, of course, you know, you go there. But some more information for the location button here. You can also use that to get directions to how we get to the searches here. Get to the search out there, Sun Valley Parkway, Cactus Road. And let's see, I'll make sure I'm not leaving anything out. You guys, again, you know, saying like say the volunteer search page, you go there. I think there's something on the bottom I want to show you guys on that page. I can't remember. Make sure I didn't miss that. Let me check. Oh yeah, flyer distribution. I just wanted to tell you guys just to throw it out there. Also, I'll be bringing some flyers out to the searches, so you guys want to take some flyers out there on the search to help me distribute those things out all over the country or everywhere you go. Your cities where you're from, your neighborhoods. That will help out a lot. I'll have some flyers there as well. But if you want flyers, you know, sent to you, you can help fill out this information. Someone tell me they had some difficult time with this sign up, so I'm going to go into this to check. If you have any difficulties, I am going to check it out. But if you haven't it, all you have to do is go to Please Help Find Daniel at yahoo.com and request flyers, and we will send them out to you. So, but you have the option here if you came to fill us out if it's working. You have the option to have the flyers mail out to you, or you want to be an ambassador for your city. And if you do want to be an ambassador for your city, I will get the information there that you want to be an ambassador. Then I will arrange a ambassador meeting with you individually or with a group, and we could talk about those how that ambassador program will work. I do have a couple of people already signed up for to be an ambassador, so I'm really grateful for that as well. All right, so thank you guys for paying attention to this and being a part of this this event that we're having, the search for Daniel. Is very important, something that really it needs to be done, and I want to make sure. So right now, I'm getting ready to start up the Q&A. Thank you all for just listen to that part. I really appreciate it. But let's go ahead and go into the Q&A. When the lights and camera turn off, I will be here. When the interest and conversation fade, I will be here. When there's no one around, a father will do anything it takes to be there for his son, to protect his family.
Daniel Robinson went missing 4 months ago. This is the last photo his family has of him. He's a 24-year-old geologist, last seen leaving his job site in Buckeye, Arizona.
As the Gabby Petito homicide case garners national attention, another young person has been missing for nearly 3 months, and his family is desperate to find him. 24-year-old Daniel Robinson, a geologist, was last seen on the morning of June 23rd, leaving his work site in the desert of Buckeye, Arizona.
David Robinson had only one thought on his mind as he drove the nearly 1,800 miles from his South Carolina home to Phoenix.
I had to find my son. And it's been a long journey searching for him. Thank you guys for coming in this evening's Q&A. I'm David Robinson. I am the father of geologist Daniel Cornelius Robinson. My son Daniel, a geologist that graduated from the College of Charleston in Charleston, South Carolina, went out to Phoenix, Arizona to start his career, start his life goal in geology. He landed his first job with an engineering company called Matrix New World, also called Matrix Southwest Groundwater. There they hired him on as a field geologist, also called a hydrogeologist. His job is to go out to various well sites that he's assigned and check the viability of those wells. As you may not or may know, every well in Arizona, every community in Arizona had to have these wells. These wells had to produce at least 100 years of water by law, and my son's job is very important to help determine that. Also, they test the water to make sure the water that's coming out of the groundwater is drinkable. So the job is very important. On June 23rd, he was doing just that. Of course, you guys, he got assigned to 2 well sites. Both was in Buckeye, Arizona. One was off of Verrado Way area, off of I-10. The other is north in off of Sun Valley Parkway, off I-10. And to check both of those wells, like I said, for the viability of those wells. According to his job, he did completed the work at the first well site, and according to his his cell phone, Daniel took some pictures of the logs that he I don't know if it's something he normally do, but that's what he did on that particular time, and then started supposedly be going to the next well site. Daniel did reach out to one person who he's supposed to be meeting for the first time. But he was unable to get in contact with him. He did miss a call from the guy who was waiting from the second well site. His name is Ken. Daniel missed that call. Ken left a voicemail asking Daniel not to come up to the well site because of some fuel issues, some type of truck that did not show up for the fuel, and he's waiting on that. Told him he don't have to rush on getting there. But one of the things is Daniel did, even though that voicemail came in, Daniel did reach out to him. He did not answer his, Ken did not answer his phone. Daniel, according to his cell phone, he did reach out again by text message to ask for location, how to get there to Sun Valley Parkway, the well off of Sun Valley Parkway. Ken did not answer that text message. And then he waited to 9:28 to call again. I'm assuming because of the duration of the call, he must have left a voicemail to say, hey, look, for that directions to get to this well site. But that did not, according to Ken, that could not have happened. His cell phone data was wrong because Ken said that he met my son met him off of Sun Valley Parkway, right off on the shoulder of the road of the Sonoran Desert. My son followed him into that desert. They went 1 mile west and 2 miles north to get this well site. They arrived at the well site at around 9 o'clock that morning, and my son was gone by 9:15. So, like I said, those two things did not match. According to his story, Daniel's cell phone records is wrong, that he did not make a call at 9:28 for directions. So the thing is, you guys, I have been out searching for my son. You guys know that I've been out since June 26th searching for him. I was the one put in the missing person report. That was based on my daughter who lived in Phoenix at the time. And she called because one of the coworkers, when I say coworkers, is one of Daniel's friend, off the job friends that worked for Matrix New World, came over to her apartment to see if Daniel was there. She thought that was strange. First, she didn't know how he knew she lived, but he did remind her that Daniel brought him there once before. And so he was looking for Daniel. And so that alerted her that something was wrong. Of course, we calling his phone to make sure we can get in contact with him. We couldn't get in contact with Daniel. Sent his sister over to his apartment to check on the apartment. The light was on, and one of the lights was on in the living room area. And so it appeared that someone was there, but his vehicle was gone. So I wanted to do a welfare check to make sure there was no foul play happening in that apartment, and somebody took his vehicle. So I did reach out to the Tempe Police Department to put in, ask them can they please do a welfare check, because nobody have heard from Daniel over a length of time. And the Tempe Police declined to go out and do the welfare check, and that was based on them asking when he was last heard from. I said, well, according to his job, they say he's working near some White Tank Mountains. I'm not from Arizona, so I didn't know what that was at the time. And so because I said that, they shot me over to the Buckeye Police Department. I talked to the Buckeye Police Department, asked them the same thing to do a welfare check. They couldn't do that. They said they only can have Tempe to do it because that's where Tempe's jurisdiction. So they reached out to Tempe, Arizona, to have them to do the welfare check. The welfare check ended up being the officer came into the complex, rode past Daniel's apartment building, and then, from what I'm understanding, they got out on foot. They peeked through the curtains of from the outside, the curtains of the patio where the light was on in the living room. They didn't see anything that looked strange, and that was it. That was the welfare check. Of course, after some time, after doing my due diligence, talking to the company, I really got worried about Daniel for not answering the phones. Nobody had heard of him, and that's when I ended up trying to put in a missing person, because it's way out of character for Daniel. Was well in the bounds of his reasoning that something was wrong, something's not going right, and I tried to put a missing person report in, but according to the Buckeye Police Department at the time, I was 3 hours too early to report him missing, so I had to pace the floor for 3 hours and wait till those 3 hours was up, and then call again when took the initial report of him being missing. I talked to Officer Cruz at the time, who told me he started getting information from me, started finding out more about his job, started calling his job, as well as he told me that he was going out into the area of Sun Valley Parkway, go right up and down Sun Valley Parkway. He told me which is a long road, and to see if Daniel was stuck on the side of the road or something. So I was really relieved of that, hearing that at the time, until I end up getting messages. I'm going back and forth with his coworkers from his job and his boss, and found out that no, he was actually in the desert when he was last seen. So hearing that I did call Officer Cruz at the time and asked him can they please go out and go find my son out in the desert? Can they utilize helicopters? He told me they couldn't because it's nighttime. They won't be able to get helicopter out there, but they will do it in the morning, the first thing in the morning. Okay. I had to settle for that. I stayed up for the whole entire night. You guys, word, of course, I'm not going to sleep. I was going back and forth with Officer Cruz. He got relieved by, I think it was Officer Haley at the time, and got relieved by him. And then I was able to talk to this other officer, which told me that, yes, they would have a flight going out, a helicopter going out to search the desert, relieved again. And then he called back and said, no, it was canceled. It was unauthorized because his higher-ups unauthorized, because they said Daniel's a grown man. If he want to disappear on his own, he can. And that assumption right there caused me to just grab everything I can and just get out of South Carolina and start heading west. I made it on June the 26th, and I've been there the whole entire time trying to locate Daniel with over 45 weeks of searches over 35,000 acres of land, searching for my son, putting out information, putting out flyers, thousands of flyers across the country, as well as doing numerous interviews and going to different events, local and out of state. So definitely been doing some stuff to try to make sure, and I'm still continuing to fight for Daniel. And you guys want to know more about the story, of course, you can follow this channel here, as well as look at some of the old videos and follow this channel. You go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com. You can follow me on Twitter. Please help find number 4. Please help find 4. That's what I usually be on the most. But also you can go to all the other social media platforms like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Reddit. All Please Help Find Daniel. So you guys want to follow to learn more. And also this Q&A is for you to ask your questions in the chats. You just put the word question there, a capital letter Q, or question marks for your question. Well, tonight's Q&A is be the same thing like I did this morning, you guys. Like I told everybody who was probably here this morning and those who have not been here this morning, I try to make sure that I don't make this whole effort to find my son anything about me, because my son is the victim. He's the person that I'm out to look for. He's my first priority, and I want to make sure he's okay. I want to say up front, I did have some issues this morning. I see it's the same thing. The clarity that's coming out through. I didn't meant to try to reach out to StreamYard and see what's going on with the bandwidth and things like that. But I thought it was my internet, but it's definitely not. It has some other things I was taking on when it comes to internet, and I didn't have any of those problems. So, but definitely want to let you know, I apologize for the quality of video. It's really bad tonight again. Hopefully I can get that resolved for the next Q&A, the next videos, or whatever everything that I have going on. But just want to tell you guys, thank you for coming in this evening and being a part. But I just wanted to talk a little bit more about the struggles and the pains that it was to go search for my son. Sometimes people don't get to hear the way I'm feeling about some certain things. So I told my team, look, I want to start talking some of my truths, some things that have been going on here with the efforts to find Daniel. When I say my truths, some people say, hey man, how you keep your composure and things like that. It's training. It's training. It's my drive to make sure I find my son, stay busy, things like that. So, but at times, I'm still human, and it's really hard, you guys. Always hard to mentally deal with a lot of things when it comes to having a missing son. So started off, I just talked about this morning, you guys, if you can remember, coming out to Arizona, how difficult it was to try to just even start what to do first. And, you don't have a missing person until you have a missing person, and especially a missing child. So you don't know where to start. I had my daughter, I came to pick her up. She and I would go around Phoenix and do what we can to try to locate Daniel. She took a lot of time off from work, and I'm sure she was definitely relying on me. I'm her dad. She definitely relying on me to lead. So of course, wanted to make sure that I'm doing what I can to do my due diligence on finding Daniel. So we did go around Arizona to various airports, to parking spaces, to mental health ward, to hospital, whatever the case may be. We checked all kind of places to try to see if we can locate anything that's been missed by law enforcement or whoever that happened to Daniel. Of course, the struggles of that, dealing with family. My daughter, she took it really hard. She's the person, you guys probably know her. She was living in Phoenix at the time, and she's the person that was with Daniel the most. The rest of our family, I say the most. When Daniel decided to move to Arizona, he was out in Arizona by himself. His sister decided to move out in Arizona too, to start her life again, start her life in Arizona. And so her and Daniel had each other. They go out hiking, spend a lot of time out there in nature, spend a lot of time doing other things at each other's house, things like the apartments. And, they had each other, brothers and sisters, right? And so, of course, my daughter, she was having it really tough, you guys, trying to go out to the searches with me. and be out there. Again, I told you guys from her standpoint as well as her siblings. She had her daughter, her sister came out from California with her husband, and they came out to the searches. And like I told you, it was those three. And after that first search, they came. That was their first, they first together. Dave Visha was coming out to many searches, but the rest of them, her sister and her husband did only came to that one search, and that was their last search. And the reasons why is because of what I had to come to realize. Out in the searches, we're out there searching really hard. One day, I was, being that it's my searches, I had to be all over the place. Usually, you guys, you come out on Twin Field, you'll see what I'm saying. I'm used to be on my side by side, going back and forth, just traveling back and forth, moving to different places to make sure the volunteers are okay. Somebody called me and said, "Hey, we found Mr. Robinson found some bones or something." To go help try to make sure these pictures getting sent up to Buckeye, Arizona. My investigator. So this particular day, my daughter called me on the radio, frantic. Called me on the FRS radio. I'm flying across the desert in that Razor and trying to make it to their location. When I got there, they were just afraid. They found some remains, not human remains. They found some remains. At the time, they didn't know what it was, but I was really quick to identify they were cattle animal remains. And but the only problem with that is I was relieved that it wasn't Daniel or anybody else. But when I heard my daughter say, "Oh, I'm glad it wasn't Daniel," that's when the light bulb moment hit me in my head. I'll say, "Hey, no, my children do not belong out here. They don't belong out in the desert." And the reasons why, you guys, is because they don't need to see their brother in any kind of state, any other state. They don't need to see their brother in that manner. So wanted to make sure that I kicked them. They need to remember Daniel exactly how he is, and not to be able to see some things that I've been familiar with seeing myself. It's even difficult to even imagine it myself, and there's some things I had to live with in my journey in life. But I definitely don't want my children to have those things, memories, and things stuck in their head as well about their brother. So hopefully Daniel's not out there. Like I said, I hope it's a bit waste of time, but that's definitely one of the reasons why I would not told them at that point. They're not allowed to come out in the searches with me because of just that one fact. But anyway, so that's some of the things that the family dynamics has been very hard to get. Being a person that you may be private, more private. Some people are more private than I am. I'm private in a lot of areas, and just to be able to put your life out and put yourself in an open sphere, that's hard for a family. We have, even though you're doing like for instance, I'm doing it just for Daniel to make sure that I fight for Daniel. And it takes these things. It takes doing these interviews. It takes going to these places, but it's still difficult. It's difficult because you have to repeat the same thing. This Q&A, for instance, is difficult because you have to repeat the same thing over and over and over again, and it's constant. The pain could hit you every time over and over again. So it's a constant pain. So those one of the things that I think when it comes to his siblings, when it comes to his sisters, his mother, maybe that, hey, the constant thing going back and forth. Hey, and you got these reporters coming out. Hey, can you do this interview? Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you speak about, and sometimes it get kind of difficult. It's difficult for me, so I can imagine being difficult for my children. And so, yes, it's difficult to be able to talk about some of those things that bring up. It's almost like opening up wounds over and over again. So just wanted to put that out there as well. But yes, talk to you guys about this morning some of the struggles when it comes to having to utilize other resources. One of the biggest things for me, like I said this morning, was asking. Asking was one of the biggest things. I was one of the things where, like, I get from the Bible. It says I've been a giver and not a borrower. That's just not one of the themes in my life, to go out and borrow things from people. It's always good to have your own and take care of yourself. And that's the way things have been since I was 16 years old, taking care of myself. So the thing is, I'm telling you guys, just being able to, handle things, it feels a lot better. But sometimes it comes to a point with things like unexpected things like Daniel's situation that you need help. I reach out to the community. The community reached back out to me. You guys have been champions to everything. Have been doing from day one. I have never would have been gotten. I would have been fighting. I would have been fighting, but I wouldn't gotten this far if you guys wasn't helping. So I really appreciate over and over again. I sound like a broken record because I really appreciative to everything that everybody did. I don't care if you came out to one search or you came out to 45 searches. I'm definitely happy that you came and supported. I don't care if you gave $1 or $100. I'm really grateful for everybody. I don't care if somebody don't have anything to give and they just gave their word to say, hey, Mr. Robinson, you can make it. Thank you for fighting for your son. You're a good father. Whatever the case you guys to say, those things are helpful as well. So those are morale boosters and things that boost me up along the way to keep me going. But there's times, I'm telling you guys, it's very tough and very rough mentally when you have to constantly, for me, I had to remind myself that I'm not hearing Daniel's voice. Like, man, this is crazy. I haven't heard Daniel's voice for over a year, going on 2 years. And you have to, you come down to a point where you're listening to old voicemails or something just to be able to hear that person's voice, so you don't forget that voice. But there's some things like that, you guys, that you have to be aware of when it comes to families who's going through this. It's one thing to know where a person at, and what happened to them is another thing not knowing where they're at and what happened to them, because that mindset is there where you're just constantly wondering if they're alive or dead. To be frank, what I'm saying, those things are in your brain, in your mind. You just don't know. You don't want to think your loved one, especially your child, is no longer on this earth. You want to keep that positive energy. You want to keep that positive mind, like I do, to believe that no matter what you see, like I say often, no matter what information that I receive would suggest certain things, I still have my faith. Not knowing is also knowing in your faith, to be able to keep your faith and say, hey, look, because I don't know, I can always still feel that I'm going to bring Daniel back home alive and bring him home safe. But it's a different thing. Like I said, you guys, when you do know and there's nothing else you can do, just like the human remains we found out in the desert, those families have to be informed. They've been wondering the whole entire time what happened to their loved one. They probably just like me, wondering, hey, if their loved one is alive or dead. They just don't know. But when you get that closure, it's not the closure that you want. Nobody wants to hear that their loved one is deceased. But it gives you some sense of at least you have a knowledge and knowing what happened. You have a knowledge of knowing where this person was located. The desert is a bad place. Like I said, people get scattered all over the place because of the elements and things like that, the wildlife. But at the same time, it gives the family some sense of, hey, look, I know what happened and where, what areas. But it's never going to be one of those wounds that's going to just heal. Just talking to families all the time who says, talk to me as if their missing person went missing yesterday or today. When they talk about it. I have never ran to a person yet that didn't talk about their missing loved one as if it didn't happen today or yesterday. They talk about it, whether it's been 20 years, 30 years, 2 years, 1 year, couple months. It all sounds the same, the way they're expressing themselves and talking about their loved one. So I hear it and I hear the pain. Pain sounds the same. You have those pains. There's no easing of the pain. There's no easing the pain. You get used to the pain, but there's no easing of the pain. You get used to life dealing with those pain. You get used to be able to go out and function, and so you'll be functioning through your pain. So it's one of those things that's going to be constantly in your brain, especially with somebody to bring up and ask questions and things like that. So you constantly living it over and over and over again. So thank you guys for listening in on. I'm going to take a little break real quick and going to go back into some more conversation about this. But I'm going to really just want to tell everybody, thank you, first of all, for coming in the Q&A. I just wanted to reach out and say it to some of you coming down the comment section. If you guys have any questions, again, utilize the capital letter Q before you question, the question mark or the word question before you question, and I will try to find those as I'm coming down and help me locate those. I want to say, Minnie Trout, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your prayers. And I believe in miracles, and I believe that will happen. So thank you so much for that. Thank you, E. Sands, for being here again. Thank you also, Mom Jeans. Thank you so much for being here as well. God bless you for coming in on the YouTube side of things. Thank you, Leah, for being here as well. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you, Kay, for being here. I really appreciate it. Praying for Daniel. And thank you, Kay, and thank you, Leah. Yes, prayer changes things. I really believe in prayer. You guys know that when it comes to the next Q&A, for instance, will be fast and prayer for Daniel. I believe in prayer. I believe in fast, and those things are very key to getting those answers. I was just talking to a pastor today, a friend of mine. His name is Jeffrey Williams. He's he's happened to be in a grocery store, and he and I had a conversation, and we talked about the prayer, and just how fast and prayer, and how sometimes God allows certain things in life, and certain things happen in a certain way. We want answers right now. We expect certain answers right now, and those answers don't come the way that we want it. They're coming, but in the process of getting those answers, a lot of times things like the Daniel Robinson Foundation help us to be able to help families. The things like being able to share other people's story happens. Just like people who have missing loved ones come out to my search and support. Those great things happen. So a lot of great things come out of tragedy, despite how people feel. You can look at the whole bulk of the tragedy. Of course, it's painful. Of course, it's emotional. But when it comes to the whole bulk of it, when you think about it, a lot of good things come out of tragedies at times. People come together from all walks of life. We may not agree, for instance, politically. Might not agree with certain aspects of life, but when we have a common cause like this, people actually come together. And that's one thing about Daniel as well. He's a person that brings people together. So that's just his personality as well. But just saying, I just want to throw it out, Kay and Leah, yes, prayer. Prayer is one of the biggest things for me. Thank you, Travis. I see the super chats. Thank you guys for the super chats in the comment section from the YouTube side of things. I really appreciate that, Travis. Thank you for supporting this channel. Like I said, that's one of the things right here, Travis, is that I reached out. I reached out to the community. Didn't know anything about a GoFundMe, didn't know about fundraising and things like that. My daughter introduced it to me, and it's been a blessing from day one to be able to do all the things I was able to do. So I'm really grateful for what you guys have been doing, Travis, and in my travel and my journey to find my son. So that support like that helps out a whole lot. I really appreciate it. Thank God bless you, sir, for that. Thank you so much. Also, I see another super chat. Thank you so much, Mom Jeans. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. God bless you for the super chat and supporting. Also, you guys, you've been supporting this channel. 2.27 thousand subscribers. That is amazing. I remember I only had 10 subscribers, and you guys have been blessed. And that's why I say hit that like, share, and subscribe button. That helps you guys grow this channel. So I really appreciate that, Mom Jeans, for your love, and your support and the way it looks like you're in Europe. So thank you so much for your love and support. And I really appreciate that. I would like to know where you're from because I see it in different currency. So thank you so much for that. Thank you for your love and your support. God bless you for that. E. Sands, thank you so much for the super chat. You guys are pouring out a lot of love, and I really appreciate that. Thank you, E. Sands, for this love and support, and definitely thank you for supporting this channel the way you have. I really appreciate that. God bless you, E. Sands. I just can't thank you guys enough. That's what I'm saying. Those type things right here, get you guys put a smile on my face, make me feel really good. To have the support from you guys, from the community, you guys who have been praying, like, hey, been praying and stuff, and you all here with the super chats have been praying. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Anissa. Thank you so much, over and over and over again. Thank you again. You and your husband. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to meeting you. I'm looking forward to shaking your hands out there on the 25th. So thank you so much for supporting that as well. You and your husband. I think you said you're actually flying into town. So thanks so much for just thank you so much. I just can't thank you enough. So God bless you. I want to read this. Say, please, if you can join in the search. Thank you for putting this up. Let's show David and all of Daniel's family. We are there for him. Please help find Daniel. Thank you. You're so kind, so nice, and I really appreciate that. You've been such an advocate for everything that's going on here. So thanks so much, Anissa. That's why I say when I shake your hand, I'll be very happy with that. Thanks so much. God bless you for being here. Also, thank you, Missing Persons. Thank you so much for being off the Facebook. Oh, look at me. That's I almost think that's from one of us, but I'm not sure. Say Missing Persons. Okay, thanks so much for putting up the hashtag for Find Daniel. I really appreciate you supporting the channel as well, being here. I want to make sure it's not one of our channels because I see the logo there. So thank you so much for being here and supporting. God bless you so much. Thank you also, Sophia, for being moderator tonight, being part of the board team, friend, and also the treasurer, executive treasurer for the Daniel Robinson Foundation, being here, moderating, putting out good information. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Primetime Q&A. Please help find Daniel. That's the website you guys can visit. Please help find Daniel.com to get information, how to get to the searches, to sign the petition. Let's not forget about the petition, you guys. That's also on the website as well. Sophia putting out a lot of information in the chats. I did put in links for everybody on social media, rather if you're on Instagram, well, not Instagram, but if you're on Facebook and TikTok, Facebook and Twitter. If you guys are on those two and you've been watching this Q&A off of those platforms, I did put a link there also from the YouTube side, so it's easier when you guys use the YouTube link and watch the Q&A through the YouTube link. Then you'll be able to see a lot of the what goes on in the chats with the moderators putting up valuable information as I'm talking up on the Q&A. So thank you, Sophia, for putting up. But this is it. The public search, thank you for the numbers there. For the 25th, we have 174 people signed up to help. Thank you, guys. 174 people signed up. I asked for 200, and I'm right there. I really appreciate you guys because that's definitely going to mean a lot. That's going to get me to where I need to be. Speaking of the search, let me put this on pause for a second. I'm going to keep going. But I want to put this information up here for everybody. This information is here. This is something I was going to put on the website, but I did put it, I think it's on social media, some of my social media platforms. I think I put it there. But this information about the upcoming search. And this is one of the things that I wanted to point out when it comes to preparing for the search. I'm going to see if I got it both. I don't know if I can. I may not just, that might just be the front page. So, oh yeah, I got the second page. But anyway, the front page of this has the public search for Daniel Cornelius Robinson. And it's about the search. There will be a public search for geologist Daniel Cornelius Robinson on the Sonora Desert of Buckeye, Arizona. The purpose of the search is to complete areas not yet searched during the 45 weeks of searching. The key focus will be near the Hassayampa River, southwest of the location where Daniel's Jeep was found. We need volunteers to do line searches of that area. And also we need people with side-by-side. You guys have 4x4 vehicle type vehicles, side-by-sides, like I said, we call them razors, or you have some quads and things like that. We like to have those. If you have horses, if you want to bring those as well. Anything that you think that can help in the search, that'd be helpful. You guys have things like if you have metal detectors and things like that, they help out as well. So if you guys have those things, definitely is appreciative and needed. But it's on February 25th of 2023 at 7 to 11:45 a.m. on location Sun Valley Parkway, Cactus Road, Buckeye, Arizona. And you'll find a link that's available on the website. You guys can check that out. Go to the next page here. You see the further the personal items needed. And I put like a little list of personal items. I think that, hey guys, keep in mind. That's why I asked you guys to check that video on the website. You go to the search page and please help find Daniel.com, and you can watch those videos, and it'll tell you give you some of those little tips that would be helpful when it comes to being safe out there in the desert. Personal items needed. Please bring water and the water source. I say things like a Camelback, gallons of water, whatever, however you want to carry the water with you. Just bring water that you think you need. Bring some extra that you think you need. If you guys don't have water with you, somehow left it, or you don't have them with you, we will have those things in the command center. There will be snacks and things like that. Snacks is electrolytes to be able to replenish some of the salts that's lost when you're out there searching, and it's also your water. Wear appropriate footwear, boots, hiking boots, and things like that. I mention that all the time, a couple times. You guys, if you got out in the desert, first of all, it's a rough terrain. You got a lot of rocks and things, but with tennis shoes, it's kind of not really good at all. Any type of sneakers, because the sidewalls of those sneakers are not thick enough a lot of times. And if you was to not being paying attention, especially doing line surgery, not paying attention, you might, it's really small cacti is, in the area sometimes, and then you might end up inadvertently stepping on one, and them thorns, they'll make it through your shoe. Some of them had made it through other things, so just be careful with that. You don't want to get stuck. Trust me, I brushed across a cactus, one of those, I guess they call them sombreros or whatever, the big ones. They're like a football, holding the football like shape. But anyway, try to avoid one of those for the volunteer. Put it on the vehicle on the other side, and the vehicle barely brushed it, and it shot needles out of it, and it went on the whole side of my left side of my body, and I had to deal with that the whole entire search. It didn't feel good, I'm telling you that, and it was really hard getting them out. You almost need a pair of pliers to pull them out. So be really careful with those as well. Also, bring FRS radios if you have those. We will be using those to monitor channel 8. We have some to loan out, but I won't have 174 of them. But I have a few, especially for like the line leaders who may need those and keep in contact. Those who may be traveling out, with the UTVs and the 4x4 type vehicles and stuff. So we have some of those radios as well. But yes, we will be monitoring channel 8. Also, wear long sleeves. This is obvious. Long sleeves, long pants, and those reasons are obvious. Again, the cacti, the brush, you may get scraped or something. But one of the things that a lot of people don't think about, the sun. Sometimes we think it's better to have these short sleeves on when it's hot out in the desert, it's dry heat. A lot of times it's better to have these other these wick type material, like almost like the shirt I have, to move to keep your skin cool and things like that, and also to keep the sun rays off your skin. Suntan lotion and things like that. If you need those, do that as well. Eye protection, skin protection. Like I said, suntan lotion, shades. It's sunny most time in the desert. I kind of a kid with my team all the time and say it don't even rain in Arizona, but but you definitely want to definitely protect your eyes from the sun, and it may warm up, in the morning, and so you want to make sure you protect yourself because it's not that much shade. You're doing all of this wearing hats, that help as well, but you want to make sure you protect your eyes and your skin. Emergency contacts. You guys have any emergencies and things like that? We have a sheet out on the command center for those who have health conditions that we should most likely know, and be able to assist if you need any assistance, because you just don't know. You better be safe than sorry. We'd like to also put in a next of kin or someone that we may contact for emergency purposes, whoever you choose, because I'm sure you want your loved one or person to know if anything went wrong. We want to make sure we'll be able to contact your loved one. So the information will be there for you to be able to put up. There'll be some other things I'll be talking about that on the safety briefing once you get there on the 25th. So we'll be talking about that stuff. The command center, again, will be monitoring channel 8 on the FRS radios. But if you cannot get us on the radio, I can't tell you the number that I have and the phone that I have. I'm not doing an AT&T commercial, but I'm saying is I never lost a signal one time out in the desert utilizing AT&T. I don't know what your phone carriers are. A lot of people do get coverage as well, but it has some people that say, hey, they get the spotty type coverage. But if you ever get a cell phone and you're not getting the radio, this is another option. It's the number below. I will have that cell phone with me at all times for you to call out on that day. So again, thanks so much for listening on that. I think that should do it when it comes to that. I want to continue on thanking Barry for being here and being the vice president of the Daniel Robinson Foundation. I really appreciate that, as well as being the moderator and a friend, part of the A team. So I'm really grateful that you're here this evening on this Q&A, doing your thing. So thanks so much. Thank you, E. Sands, again for being here. God bless you for your support. SW4x4 Explorers, thank you so much for being here. I wish I could come help, but no way post-operative I can handle this. I pray for you all today and always. And, I pray for you that you get speedy recovery and healing. I know it can be difficult going through operations and things like that. So Godspeed for you. And, like I said, God bless you for healing, quick healing. And so thank you so much for even considering coming out to the searches and being a part of this Q&A constant support. Thank you so much, SW 4x4 Explorers. Sophia put some information here for you guys. You can donate to the GoFundMe here. They can find that on pleasehelpfinddaniel.com as well. That's the link that she have there to the GoFundMe. Also, she have information here for you can print out the flyers. The PDF for those flyers is on pleasehelpfinddaniel.com as well. Those PDF, I did fix some people went there and say, hey, it's not working right. But I did fix that. So you can go there as well as you can go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com, pleasehelpfinddaniel@yahoo.com and request flyers. And Sophia here will send those out to you. So thank you so much. Also, thank you so much for Sophia for reaching out to the people here in the chats. Also, don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Sophia, you're doing your thing. Thanks so much. Hitting the like, share, and subscribe button. If you're here for the first time, that will help this channel to grow. That will help the algorithms. I really need this channel to grow. I really need it to go places. So to get Daniel's story out farther. That's the whole reason why I'm doing Q&As and to make sure I get Daniel's story out. This Q&A, like I said, I made it a little different, is to talk about some of the struggles that I personally had to go through. It's not about me. It's about my son, this whole effort. But I just wanted you guys to know some of those details. So that's why you hear me talk about some of this tonight that I've been talking about so far. All right. Also, thank you so much. If you're having a question, you guys, just like that big word question she got there, put the word question there before your question, or the capital letter Q, or a question mark. That will help me see it, like E. Sands just did. She had a big question mark there. Thank you, E. Sands. I really appreciate it for demonstrating as well. The big question mark, I can actually know that's a question coming up. Are you able to say the street name his car was seen before it was put on the desert, put in a desert? If not, it's okay. I'd rather not. E. Sands, it's because I'm really waiting on law enforcement to catch up. And when I say waiting on them to catch up, meaning that some of the information I got, and I actually did searches over there in that area, and I know what's in that area. I know what's going on with that area. I know the people involved in that areas. All these things that work together in the scheme of things when it comes to investigating my son's disappearance, all the players and things like that, right? And so for law enforcement to have not even mentioned it this far, it makes me like, that's why I say I get really weary that they're actually doing the hard work. You know what I'm saying? When I say doing the hard work, I get it. They got a whole department. They feel like, hey, we got all this other stuff to do and things like that. That's the reason why you guys, when some new news will be coming later on this year as well. That's why I'm telling you guys, it's important to have a department within the department that will do things like that. You know, you got these cops, you know, saying that say they're detectives and things like that, but they don't know how to handle missing person cases. They go tell a family things like this person want to disappear, their own they can, you know, or you know, this whatever the case may be. They may have joined a monastery, become a monk, or they haven't go follow these leads. Following these leads 4 months after the family follow up on these leads. So we need a department that's dedicated to missing persons, especially in states like Arizona, California, Alaska, New York. Some of these others that have real high, all the states really, but had a real high missing person cases rate. So they had to have those departments to do that. But yeah, I definitely want to put out information just yet about where the exact location. People know. It's one of those common knowledge of some people who's been out in the searches with me as a common knowledge, but I'm just not going to put it out to kind of reiterate it and put it out farther until law enforcement can catch up with investigating. That just let me know if it's things that I know they don't know. It may be one if they're investigating. Also, thank you so much, Sue. Excuse me. Thank you so much for the super chat. God bless you for that. I really appreciate that. It's amazing. Like I said, from you said you and Daniel are always in my hearts and in my mind. Love you, love prayers, and from the Grizzlies. Can you guys hold on for a second? I'm choking here. All right, thank you guys. I had to get off the camera for a second and drink some water here. had a little dryness in my throat. But thank you so much, Sue, like I said, for the super chat and your love. It's amazing. It always still amazes me how much love, say all of you showing up here on a Q&A and supporting. Thank you to Grizzlies. Gisela K, she already know how I feel about the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies always out there in the searches with me, hand in hand fighting. Out there in the searches. Gisela K is also out there with me in her own way. I know she's in the Netherlands, but she's out there with me many occasions out there in the desert, doing lives and things like that to help Daniel's story get out there. She's the biggest contributor and responsibility for this channel that I have. I gave her an idea what I want to do. She gave me, Gisela, she's an amazing person. Sue, she gave me a whole tutorial, as how I want to put it. I didn't get to watch. I've been so busy. I didn't get to watch the fullest quick enough, and I'm still watching to get these tips. But she gave me so much information on how to get this YouTube channel going and to make it better and so on. I still have some things that I haven't done yet. But she also, not only that, she's been working on the background on this channel as well. Make sure those templates is there and certain little things to help with the YouTube channel. She gave me the information about what you're doing right there, the super chats. Hey, Mr. Robinson, you get to a certain point, you'll be able to offer super chats and things like that. Some of the incentives that come with getting the channel to 1,000 subscribers, for instance. So that's what I'm saying is important. You guys like, share, subscribe. It helps the channel to grow. It helps me get to a point where I can do other things. We got, I think it's called community tab. I haven't really utilized yet, but there's a lot. She's a wonderful lady. So I'm thanking so much for the Grizzlies, all those who follow her channel. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, just go to Gisela K. Grizzly True Crime is her YouTube channel. The Grizzlies are very lovely people. I see them everywhere. So thank you so much, Sue. And I love the Grizzlies as well. So big hugs to the Grizzlies as well. So thank you so much for reaching out from Orange County. God bless you. If you guys have more questions, I will hit those up, but I'm gonna try to go and start talking a little bit more again as I'm coming back down to answer some more of those questions and really thank some of you guys for coming out to this Q&A. Anyway, I was talking about earlier some of the things that when it comes to, a lot of people ask me a lot, say, hey, Mr. Robinson, why, some fathers I talked to in the past since I've been doing this, and they say, hey, they commend that the length of time, hey, it's been over a year and you're still busting really hard to, find your son. First of all, it's love for my son. Of course, that's just natural. Sometimes people say, man, you're a good father because you're doing this, but it's hard for me to imagine that no father wouldn't do this. And then sometimes I have to look back at my life, and I do come from a home, from a single mother. And, so sometimes, I have to, sadly, understand where they come from when they say, hey, not every father would do what you're doing. It's a hard pill to swallow. It's a hard idea in my brain to believe that until I start looking at reality from where I came from, for instance. And then I hear their stories, and, some fathers wouldn't be going this far. So, unfortunately. And but there are some fathers that would. I met Mr. Graham. He had a missing young man. His son ran away. Sometimes people say, well, he just ran away, but he's a child. His son's a child. He's a veteran. He's not active duty veteran at that. He's on the ship trying to serve his country. And his son took off, and just imagine his mind, dealing with what he does out there at sea, and then have to worry about his son back in the States missing, right? So he's a dedicated father, did everything he can from that point of view, from out there in the water somewhere, fighting for his son. And every time he get docked back into the States, he take every opportunity to fight for his son. And, it's amazing. So you could look at that story as well for amazing father. And there's fathers out there that will do what I'm doing. And I know they are. So, that is natural. It's a birthright for a father. It's a privilege and an honor to be a father, and to be able to protect your family. Protect your family. That's include your children, your wife, if you're married, or anything. But Just protect your family, protect your household, provide. All that stuff comes together. When somebody say they're providing, you're providing for a situation like this. Make sure you're providing an avenue to find my son. Protect your family. I'm protecting my family, protecting Daniel's his integrity of the person that he is, and also protecting his justice that he's deserved. Just in all areas, to protect them in every area. So that's what fathers do. That's a job, and that's also an honor, and also something that you should do because your father. Those that's come with the job, if you want to put it that way. But that comes with territory that should come in your heart and your mind. It should be something that's automatic, like blinking your eyes. Just something that you just do. Mothers do it all the time. You guys know that you've seen some of the families of these mothers who out there had their missing sons and children, and they go through heaven and hell to fight for their child. Same thing as a father. Sometimes we're not, as you don't see the voice or hear it as much, but they're out there. They're out there. There's fathers out there that just do the same thing as mothers would do. That's an automatic thing. So just wanted to talk about that a little bit and stop right there for a second to say that. I don't know, I have some issues. But anyway, thank you so much, Sue, again, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. God bless you again. Also, I have Sophia here again. Guys, if you want to sign up for the public search, go to Eventbrite. That's the link there. She have on the YouTube side of things. You can go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com and hit the event button, and you can do that. Do the same thing and take it to Eventbrite. And thank you so much, you guys who have already signed. I think it was 174. Like I said, Carolyn, it's good to see you. Put a smile on my face. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. They say not going to be on here long. You're probably already gone now, but thank you so much. But I want to know that I am sending love. Want you to know that I'm sending love and support. You always do, and I know that. I thank you for all the thousands of flyers you have put out, all the searches that you have been to out there in the desert with us, and also for serving the country. You're a fellow soldier, and I really appreciate you for your service and everything you do, Carolyn. You already know I love you, and I thank you so much for coming in tonight, even though you couldn't stay. But thank you so much, and thank you for just everything. Just everything. I just can name it, but thank you so much. And I know the team, they thank you as well. Also, thank you, Valerie, for being here this morning. God have mercy. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here this evening for the Q&A. Karen, thank you for being here as well, supporting from the Facebook side. Thank you also, LV. Thank you so much for being here. God bless you. Send the prayers. Feel bad that can't help more, but I just tagged a bunch of reporters and some friends online. Thank you so much for doing that. That's what I'm saying, you guys. These are the things that you guys do. That's a lot, LV, and I really appreciate that, what you're doing, because like I said, those things matter. Those things matter. Every bit, every effort matter. Like I said earlier, if you came even to one search, that is a big deal. You know what I'm saying? So if you came to, whatever, you came to this Q&A, this support, that is a big deal. So I really appreciate every effort, every move you guys have been making to help me find my son. So thanks. All that stuff work together. It takes a community. It takes people to work together to make things happen. So thank you. Also, you guys, again, with my efforts to find my son, I just try to put out some things that been very difficult. Like I said, just keeping Daniel's story alive. My mind is like this. There's a person out there that knows something, and they're probably reluctant to say something, but you put that information out there in the public, and you try to find avenues to keep the story alive and to be able to reach these persons, and also with outreach and with people sharing the story. When I go on these platforms and tell about Daniel's story, a lot of things come out. Like I said, it's the outreach to reach those personal persons that may know something, may touch their heart, may soften their heart, and it may call that tip line, that anonymous tip line that I have that's scroll on the bottom of the screen, and leave that tip that we need to give us that closure, give us the knowledge of what we need to know. And also it helps with resources. When I do this searches and things like that, when I put the information, out and go do these interviews and things like that, they help with resources. helped me keep on doing what I'm doing. As I talked about this morning, the GoFundMe is an active thing. It's constantly being used as things come in. It's being utilized to my efforts to find Daniel. So again, saying this, it's very important to go out and make sure I get Daniel's story out there everywhere I can, every moment I can. And it takes people like yourself to help share that. So thanks so much, LV. I really appreciate it. I do see a question here. You have a question mark there. Did law enforcement come out to help you during the last search? No. But you know what? Law enforcement, to their credit, at this time, even though it's been almost 2 years, like I said this morning, you guys, I talked about it a little bit on Twitter. If you guys know that the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office will be having their own search, right? I'm not going to give the date, but they really, in the near future, they will have their search. And, even though they decided to do the search after I sent the invite to come out on the 25th, I'm still asking them to come out on the 25th. So I'm just going to put that up front. This is not, in my view, do not excuse law enforcement for showing community support, coming out to my community event that I invited them to come out to the community event to show the community that they're part of the community. But I want to make sure they're out to my searches on the 25th. But they did decide to go. The Sheriff's Zone office decided to put together this big search for Daniel from a law enforcement standpoint. So there'll be some other law enforcement agencies rolling together. I would be a part of that as well, and my team. And just wanted to say I'm happy about that. So we finally got some what to me looks like what should have happened on day one, right? When I say, hey, my son's out there in that desert, and I found information. He's so-called at the time we lack information from what we know from one person's story is that he's out there out west somewhere in his vehicle. And the efforts that I see that's going to happen on this search here, almost 2 years later, if you could take all of that and put it on day one, when I put in that missing person report, when I put those elements there, hey, the circumstances, he's not from that area. It's his first time in the area. He's born with one hand. Even if you want to utilize the bogus narrative that the Buckeye Police Department, he's an endangered person. You can use all of that. When I say the bogus they say they try to utilize that he's had some kind of emotional issue as an excuse where he say, oh, I guess to bolster their thing to say he's a grown man and he wanted to disappear on his own, he can. He isn't emotional, he just want to go disappear. No, you could take that in two ways. If he was that seriously, and the family saying that that's unusual, and he's that bad off, then he's become an endangered person. But they didn't even act on that part. So the thing is, I'm saying those are the actions that should have been done on day one that I've been begging for over 40-some weeks, plus over a year and a half, over a year and a half. I've been begging for and have never gotten from at all. Period, you guys. Spending GoFundMe money and everything to try my money as well to try to keep searches going and doing things that law enforcement should have did what they're doing now on day one. So I'm saying I'm just saying it, but I'm still grateful that it's been done because it'll help me clear some of my mind on some of those areas where I don't know exactly where they're going to search though. But it helped me to when I found out what area they searched, it helped me to understand the reason where they say they want to search and why they want to search in those areas. But then they understand the reason why I'm searching the areas that I'm searching in. So, but definitely want to say that real quick there, that they are planning a search now, right? And also because of the efforts, the Buckeye Police Department, to my surprise, went out to the well site that I had did my search on. As you guys probably remember, I had the Buckeye Police Department come out one time before. They gave me this bogus search. Again, I use the word bogus. They went inside this well that I asked them to go into to see and make sure that nothing foul is going on. This before I saw the things in there. They went to the surface of that water with a non-submergible camera, and they went to the surface of that water, pull it back out, say, ain't nothing else to see here. Your son ain't down in here. We're done. They got a dog that was out there, like a not even a certified cadaver dog. I can't say it not, but like a family pet that was walking around the area, didn't alert on anything. They say. But I was able to go in and put my own cameras in there. You know what I'm saying? Go in there with a company to get my own cameras in there and search this well properly. the way law enforcement should have did it the first time. Was able to get those video footage you guys see in the public, that thing that looked like a human skull on the bottom, and sent it over to forensics department and had them look at it. They even was concerned about it and didn't wonder why the FBI wasn't looking into it. I've been preaching about it, you guys, on here on social media, to out into the news media, and some reason law enforcement would not take on to it until this week or last week, when the Buckeye Police Department, almost a year, 2 years later, the Buckeye policeman went back out there, they say, without telling me, without alerting me about anything they're going to do, went out there a secret, like they did with the FBI meeting, in secret, and resumed as well. They say they pulled all that stuff out of there. And I asked about, okay, where would I be able to see those things? They said he was wearing body cameras. So, of course, he said that. I expect to see body cameras footage and what all was pulled out of that well, because he said it was nothing there. No animal remains, no human remains, nothing there. So, which is good. That's good news for me. I'm very happy to hear that, but I still just don't take. I don't have no. They don't have no integrity with me. Say Buckeye have lost my faith in them a long time ago. So I don't have that kind of faith to say, hey, I just take their word at face value, when I could see in the report they gave me said it was a final report, for instance, and then they come out with all these other reports since my son's case went national, and then you put those two together and you can see a whole paragraph change into their favor, to in my opinion, in their favor, to match their narratives, and you can't change that, called falsifying reports. So you can do a subsidy to a report, but they actually change the paragraphs. That's something different. So the thing is, so I don't have that kind of faith, and so just for the face value of words, I need to see things and verify things as well. If things are being done properly, has been done properly, has been resumed properly. What was the item? Did y'all inventory those? Why did you go in there? Did you do it as a investigational tool? If you did it as an investigation tool, you should have paperwork, you should have inventory to what you pull out of there. So I need to know all of that. I need to know everything. So I will be pressing for those kind of things in the future as well. So, but just take it as face value. And you say, sorry, dealing with issues with own family. So I don't know everything, but I share your messages. Having private detectives help. Yes, I had a PI. I had two PIs at one point. I had one that quit, and the other one I had for a while. And he and I decided that we didn't need. I didn't need. He encouraged me. The arrangement I had with him, he just give me advice what I need to be doing as a PI. He wasn't really practicing being a PI like he used to, but he'd give me advice. So that's why I was being able to be some effective as well, is because I was getting led by a PI. And also I have another third PI friend of mine, but he's not working in the capacity of working for me, but he definitely doing some things for me to help me find Daniel. So there's PIs all around me. Also, thank you so much for your sympathy for the family. Excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry. You say you're dealing with your issues with your own family. Whatever you're dealing with, I'm praying for that as well. I'm sure everybody here is praying for you as well. That you can be blessed in those endeavors as well. So thanks so much for being here, LV. And also thank you, Larnell, for being here. Larnell, again, executive director. You just have all kinds of titles, Larnell. I can spend all night talking about all of those, but definitely a friend of mine. Like I said, executive director of Daniel Robinson Foundation, as well as an A-team member and also a moderator. Thanks so much for being here this evening. I really appreciate that. I'm trying to read two things at the same time, you guys. I see you guys really put some information and saying some things. So thanks so much. LV, you're a loving dad and a committed commitment is inspiring. We believe in you. And I thank you so much for saying that. I really appreciate that. God bless you for saying that. Yes, I am a loving dad. I have to say that because I do love my children. I love my family, and I want to make sure I'm doing right by them. But I also love you all. I love you, and I love everybody here for your support and your efforts. So thanks so much for being here. She Rose Nation, I haven't seen you in a while. Thanks so much for being here, and thank you everything that you've done. And I really appreciate good evening to you. It's good to see you here on this Q&A this evening. So I really appreciate you coming out here and giving some of your time here I know you're very busy as well, doing your thing. You do some wonderful work. Sheroes Nation, you guys, I really appreciate you for your insights. Even your questions cause a person to think, because your question led to something that helped me in my investigation for my son. So I really appreciate you. God bless you for that again. Also, you guys, like I said, this is relying on the community work, community efforts. That's humbling. It's a humbling spirit. Like I said, I didn't have to, before Daniel went missing, asking people for anything. Really, it's God. It's not something I'm saying that like bragging or anything like that. What I'm saying is God has been good. And sometimes when you go through things like that and you realize that you need the help of the community, you need the help of people at large, then you have to reach out. It's been a humbling experience for me as well, a learning experience for me as well. Um, you know, so it's difficult in all kind of areas where, you just you see the love, from people. I remember just going out to searches, feeling nervous. I need to be out there, feeling nervous, and then you see all these people, hundreds of people, um, just like me and you, just come out of from wherever, uh, from California, from most of them in Buckeye, believe it or not, a lot of them Buckeye and Phoenix, and just come from everywhere, and just there, just showing love and there diligently spending time. I remember the searches started at 6 in the morning, 6:45, and it's supposed to end at 11 o'clock before it get hot or something, 10:30, 11 o'clock. We're out there at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. People's very dedicated to finding Daniel. So, like I said, this been very humbling and just really touched me in all kind of ways. Made me look at life a lot different. With the country, with sometimes things that we hear in the news and see, all the division and things like that. But then you see people come together. It is a whole lot different, a lot different. So different when you get to experience it firsthand, where people actually come together and show so much love and things. So I've been very touched and been impressed by that as well. I'm trying to think of some things, you guys, that I want to share with you guys that I probably will from this point on my Q&As. I'll definitely be talking about Daniel. I'll definitely be putting out information about what's going on in this case. At the same time, I will be sharing some little insights when it comes to me, my truths. When I say my truths, I would not be sharing uh, things of my family, their business, and things like that. So, for some things I talk about, it'll be me, about my business, how I'm feeling, what I'm going through is my truth. Sometimes your truths do kind of intersect with other people, but that's not my intention. So I'm saying that up front to my family or anybody who may feel that some type of way I'm going towards kind of narrowly touching their life in a sense. I'm not. I just have to tell my truths and how to live with those things. Um, I'm really having a difficulty tonight. I had made a decision tonight. I talked to my team about it. I talked to some of my confidants about some things that I wanted to share with the public. I thought I was about ready to do that tonight, but I think I'm not just yet. But there are some things I will be sharing with the public when it comes to helping people understand a little bit more when it comes to the passion of a father searching for his son and the reasons why. Sometimes the passions will be a lot higher than we'll see it from some fathers, right? Like I said earlier, I literally talked to some fathers who said they really kind of search themselves. They don't know they could be going this far. They look for their child. Believe it or not, not saying that people don't love their children or wouldn't do anything for them, but sometimes people just won't go as far. Um, I'm just a person, like I said, very passionate to find my son. He's my son. He's my baby son at that. And I couldn't see it no other way. I couldn't see that another way. And it's hard to even imagine just having the thought that hey, going to be running there for your child. I can't. I don't think I can hear any mother who's listening to my voice right now who could say it in their mind and say, hey, I know women and mothers who would even have a thought in their head to kind of say, yeah, it's time for me to let go. For instance, faith. I talked to the gentleman today, like I told you, I ran to one of my friends, he's a pastor, and we grew up together. To make a long story short, I was working, and he is a guy I hired a long time ago, and me and him became best friends for years at the time. And he says, all your life, David, you had this favor. God been giving you this favor. And, I thought you'd say something else, and I couldn't really understand what he said, but I caught it at the end. And, about the faith, having the faith. My mother taught me faith. I think I told y'all the story before. And I'm not sure I'm going to say it again tonight, but I told you a story about my mother who taught me about faith. And I have never seen anything my mom showed me. And I like to tell you some of the stories about faith and miracles. But who had my mother? She's like a dad and a mom at the same time, all wrapped in one. But she made sure she put me around men. But the faith, men in the church, and she taught me faith. So when I got my faith, I got it from my mother, from her teachings, and I have never seen my mom sit down and say, you know what, God's gonna put this rent money, for instance, in my pocket, and it's gonna come out of magic, it'll disappear out the air or something. I don't know, but you got people that actually believe things like that, action comes with faith. Faith is an action word. It's not something you feel like, hey, I'm just gonna wait on God. I think sometimes, and I'm not gonna go into spiritual realms, but I think that sometimes people have been taught that you're supposed to sit and wait or something. I don't believe in that. I believe in actions with your faith. Saying, hey, I believe this is going to happen, so I'm gonna go out here, get off my behind, and go out here and search for my son, and I'm going to find him. That's what that's what faith is to me, and that's what I believe, faith-wise. I had to put actions to it. If I want to find Daniel, then I'm gonna have to put some work into that. I'm gonna have to go do it. I had to go out and find him. It's not gonna be, oh, I'm gonna sit back in South Carolina and I'm gonna have faith that I'm gonna pick up this phone, I'm gonna call the Buckeye Police Department, and they'll call me and say, yes, we out here looking for him now, and they call me back and say, we found them. I don't have that faith in them. You know, I don't have that kind of faith in somebody else. I cannot be sitting there with situations special like this and just sit back and just allow somebody to choose a destiny for you. So, long story short, I'm going too far with that, but I just want to say that's the bulk of my faith, what I really believe in when it comes to searching for my son. In order for me to have God to step in and put me in the right place at the right time, or this whole efforts. God, let's say somehow Daniel escaped or something, or something else going on we just don't know about. And this whole entire effort that God put in my heart, and I'm actually doing, may cause whoever got him let him go or something. I'm just hypothetical. I ain't saying this is what happened. And if I wouldn't doing nothing at all, if I was staying home, somehow I'm waiting on God to bring my son back home, the chain event wouldn't even happen. Sometimes you have to put certain things into actions. It might not come in the way I want to come. I'm running out here, but what I'm doing may cause something else to happen, that Daniel would be coming back home to his family. So, I just got to put a foot forward. I just look at how life, the way I look at life, a lot different, and so just wanted to put that out there with you guys as well. I'm getting close to the end, so I'm gonna look for some more questions. If you guys have any more questions, I say thank you, Anissa, again for putting up the super chat. I really appreciate appreciate you. God bless you, you and your husband so much, so much. I'm telling you, I'm gonna give you a handshake and a hug. So thanks so much. God bless you. You share when you feel like you can share. Yes. I want to put my glasses on, you guys. Don't call me. You call me anything you guys want to. I'm about to left my glasses. I say call me anything you want to. You call me an older guy if you want to. Yes, I had to put my glasses on because I think I'm starting to. I can't even find them. It's probably on my head somewhere, right? But anyway, you share when you feel like you can share, and you're right, Anissa. Some things I really want to put out in the air. It's not putting my business out, you guys. It's just that it's part of my life journey when it comes to you for instance, myself starting off as a retired, I just have to speak on my behalf. I can't speak for his mother. I can't speak for his siblings. I can't speak for for my mother or my other family members or anybody. I want to speak for myself, and I'm talking about myself, my journey, and just the fact of just being a retired military guy dealing with issues, and then bam, you back out into a desert situation again, and you share when you can feel it, and you write about that. And that's the same thing I discussed with the team. But there's some things that I think for me would be important in this whole scenario as well. When it comes to the public, it's some things that I would like to talk about. My support is unconditional. Thanks so much, Anissa. I know it is. Trust me, I really feel that. I know that I'm here to help you find Daniel in whichever ways I'm able to. And thank you so much. I'll see you on the 25th. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to that. And God bless you again. Thank you, Anissa. And thank you, everybody else. LV, thanks so much. Thank you, David, so much. Appreciate your prayers. Yes, prayer changes things. I'm telling you. And I know you'll get those recoveries and things. So thanks so much. Yes, I also sent in a previous message that I'm sending so much love and prayers go out to you and your family. And may God bless you. God bless you too. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it, LV. All right, and I still have one more thing here from Shiro's Nation, and I think I'm about to get ready to end this Q&A. Want to discuss a little bit more. Amen. People act like you can turn over love off like a switch. Yeah, you can't. You can't. I can't say this real quick on this Shiro's Nation. I remember, and it's I know she didn't mean anything bad, but I had a family member ask me. I remember when I first got to Arizona, I had been there a month, right? And I remember being in Arizona, and a family member asked the question and says, "David, well, how long you think you'll be looking for Daniel?" And, I'll be honest with you, I got offended in my heart because I said there, I'm like, I never even thought about that, It wasn't a thought that just came to my mind, say, you know what, I'm gonna give a time limit when I'm gonna look for Daniel, and that's gonna be it. Or am I gonna be looking for him for 100 years or something? I don't really believe that. I don't think that's even humanistically possible, first of all. But I do know that for now, I just need to think about the now. I need to think about what I can do for my son now. And that's where my mindset is always at. Like, what can I do for him now? The future is going to take care of itself. As you guys know, it's almost like the searches. I would have been out there searching every inch of that reasonable area, not the whole Sonora Desert, every inch of that reasonable area that I can until the funding started going kind of low. When I say the funding, you guys might see that 300 some thousand, but those are actually being used money. So I'm saying when it's not constantly coming in, even though the building, the GoFundMe ain't gonna say, hey, this, that, chop it and start it over every time. They just send it as what's being collected, basically. And so the point is, I'm saying when it started going slow, and I know I'm doing all this flyer distribution and all this other kind of stuff I was doing for me to be in Arizona, I had to pause the searches. But in my mind, I was going to search all these reasonable areas like that quick and get it done. Then the numbers started going down. Not too many people was coming out to the searches, for instance. I was lucky to get 20 people. So the thing was, so those are the uncontrolled. You don't plan or how long you're gonna go out and do something for your loved one. Like you said, love for your loved one is love is an action word as well too. And you can't say you love someone and you're not showing it in some form or fashion. So that is words. Actions speak louder than words. So of course, you don't just turn your love off, especially for your child or anybody. You don't turn on and off like a switch. Some people feel like they can. Maybe you just didn't really love the person in the first place. It doesn't work that way. I'm so sorry, Mr. Robinson. I'm praying Daniel is found soon. He will be. Thanks so much, Shiro's Nation. I have faith he will be. God can do anything. Yes, he can. And I've seen it. I've seen it so many times in my life. It'd be impossible. That's one thing the pastor said to me today, too, my old friend. He says, I'm glad you didn't give up on God. Some people get frustrated and they start accusing God of something. And I say, that's impossible. I was created to worship God. First of all, the other part is impossible with everything that I've seen in my life and my journey in life and my truths in life, it's impossible for me not to believe in God first of all, and also to believe that He's going to help me out in this whole journey. I just seen so much, even with this thing. He said, "Man, you've been doing all this. You did do this." I'm like, I didn't do anything. That's God, man. All I do is walking by faith, and He been leading me to get to this point. So I'm really grateful for that, and I'll just keep it that way. Also, thank you Sophia. I know I say your names, but thank you so much, everybody, for support, and thank you so much for putting that up, Sophia. We definitely, as a team, and I'm speaking for you and the team as well. Um, we all thank everybody who's showing love for Daniel, his aunties and his uncle in the Daniel Robinson Please Help Find Daniel 18, the board members, that's aunties and uncle for Daniel and my children. Just really saying thank you, and thank you everybody for your love and your constant support for us. When I say us as a team, you guys have been, the team working, the team working in the background. You guys, they don't get heard a lot. That's why I wanted them on the Q&A. You guys get to meet them and stuff. Larnell Farmer, for instance, and working with law enforcement too. I mean, you guys, you'd be so Mr. Pooley as well. You met him as well. He's also a private investigator. He's been working very hard doing his thing. And then you met right here, Sophia, and just everybody, Shauna, and just the whole point. Saying there's everybody who's in the part of the team working in the background, doing some amazing work, you guys. And those things will show out for you guys later. Who's been following Daniel's story. And let me see. I think I have one more thing here. Can you tell? Can tell you have an awesome. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, I do have an awesome mother. She's a blessed woman. Just oh man, I have stories. I have stories about my mother, and yeah, she's an amazing woman. Because if I get on that subject, we'll be here to midnight. So and my team be pulling their hair out their head. So, but thank you, so much, you guys. They'll be looking like me, bald headed, by the end of the night if I keep talking. So thank you guys so much. I will be putting some more content, some more videos up about the search. So look for that. I really had to keep pushing it, guys. I need really the support. I really need the support, you guys, and that's why I'm asking for this 200 people. And again, this search right here, I'm doing, I'm gonna say it just like this guy, and I want y'all to take it to heart. I'm taking the search by faith, and I'm just gonna leave it like that. I'm taking the search by faith, and now I'm walking by faith and not by sight. And the search is going to be successful, and we're definitely going to go out there and do some work. And we are a family. And I want to tell you guys up front, I love each and every last one of you that's coming out there to the search, whether you signed up or not. That would be out there in the search and everything you do. So thanks so much. God bless you all. Thank you, Barry, for being here. I see you here. God is good all the time. Thanks so much, you guys. I'll see you on the next Q&A, and I may have some small little, I don't want to call them Q&As, but some little things I'm talking about in the middle of the week. So God bless you guys again. Love you. Talk to you next time.